Today, Baba is talking about the soul as a battery. Baba is using the analogy of a battery for the soul. And it is very interesting that so in Baba's home, there is an emergency light that is bought. So, these new things were being procured at that time. So these days, emergency lights are, very common, but at that time it was a new thing. So when that light was bought, then Baba is using the example of that light, showing that light to children and saying that just like the battery of the emergency light gets discharged, similarly, we souls also get discharged. Now you see that, sometimes I wonder what was different many years ago when Baba came compared to today. So there are many things which have changed. But one important thing is, at that time, science had not made much progress. So it was very difficult to understand subtle things, For example, you see, today when Baba says, you are a soul and you have a part of 84 births recorded in you, then it is not very difficult for us to understand. Because these days we have pen drives and we have CDs, and we know that, in a very tiny pen drive, you can have a lot of recording recorded in it. So it becomes very easy to understand the subtle things when we have advanced scientifically. But you see, at the time when Baba came, at that time people didn't know anything subtle. They only knew gross bodies and everything that could be seen with the two eyes. That was the reality. So you see, even science has made us very aware about physical reality, which is not discernible through physical senses. So, for example, science has made you aware that there are certain things you can't see, but they exist, although they are part of the physical world. For example, today you use a microscope to see many things which your naked eye can't see. So at least, we are aware of that possibility today, that there is existence beyond these five senses. Science has made us aware that there is existence beyond what you can hear. So there is a limited range of sound that you can hear, but bats can hear more than you. You can't hear what bats can hear. And then, there are these sounds in the environment which you can hear and discern through aided hearing, which you cannot otherwise. So science has also made us, very open-minded, and our intellects have started believing that yes, there is something which exists, which is beyond the physical range of perception. And then science has created instruments and aided machines which can help you perceive those things. But when Baba came, at that time, we did not have these facilities. And that's why, it was very difficult for us to understand that there is something beyond what the eyes can see, beyond what the ears can hear. And Baba uses this example of, the soul being like, Baba says, you are like this thumb. When Baba came, Baba didn't say the soul is like a point. Baba says you are gross like this thumb, because it was very difficult for children to perceive or become aware that a soul is, a tiny point invisible to the eye. So that is how Baba started. So it is, so we must thank, the time also when we have come. So every time is a good time. And at this time we have come, and we have a lot of, our intellects are open because of the journey we have had. And today Baba uses the example of an emergency light to make children understand that just like the emergency light loses its charge, similarly the soul loses its charge. And have you seen that sometimes some machines are not working at all, or they are working very erroneously, and then you think that my machine has gone, bad, or the machine is now out of order. But then you realize that just the battery is out of order, not the machine. And when you charge the battery, then the machine starts working well. I remember it happened with my phone some time back, and the phone was not working properly, and then I realized it's out of charge, so that's why it's not working properly. So you see that sometimes you don't understand where the problem is, and the problem is with the battery. And Baba says the soul is the battery of your existence. And because the battery is discharged right now, because we have not been charging and continuously using it, how does any battery get discharged? When you don't charge it and keep using it. So slowly, gradually, it goes out of charge. So similarly, this happened with the soul, and the soul slowly, gradually, eventually got discharged. And you see, what are the signs of the discharge of the soul? So, the soul is the battery operating the mind, intellect, sanskars, and the body. So, these days, so what is the original design of the mind? The original design of the mind is to think positive, powerful, purposeful thoughts, to have pure feelings and good wishes for everybody. That is the design of the mind. And then, do you remember yesterday's blessing? Baba said that when you are happy, when the soul is full of happiness, then you don't worry. Yes, so these thoughts of worrying about, so worry doesn't have any logic. You can worry about anything and everything. Yes, if you have the sanskar of worrying, you can worry about anything and everything. And you can pick anything, and that can become the cause of worry. And all these negative feelings, negative thoughts, whether it's sorrowful thoughts, thoughts of worry, thoughts of being upset, these are all a result of the discharged soul. The original quality of the mind is to not create these thoughts. The original quality of the mind is to create thoughts of hope, faith, love, good wishes, good feelings. This is how we are supposed to think. And sometimes when you listen to somebody's thought process, you find it very weird. You say, how can you think like this? What kind of thinking is this? And then, for them, that thinking is very natural, very normal. And for you, you think this is so bizarre that this person thinks like this. Or who thinks like, I remember there was one brother and he used to tell me that when I sleep, I think there's somebody under my bed. And he said, I cannot get rid of this thought. And he used to tell me that, I wake up several times and with a lot of fear, I try to look beneath my bed and see whether there's somebody. And even if there's nobody, I can't get rid of this thought. And when I heard that, the first thought that came to me is, I cannot relate to this thought. Because why would somebody think like this? But you see, this is the thing that I am in a different, stage of the soul, and that soul is in a different stage. So my battery is more charged than his battery. So that's why our minds are operating differently. And that's why I'm not able to understand the thoughts that he creates. But then you see, it's all about the charge of the battery. Because the mind, the master of the mind is the soul. And when the soul is discharged, then the mind thinks very bizarre, very negative, very wasteful, very illogical thoughts. Yes, so, thoughts of insecurity. Somebody is nice to you, they are behaving well with you, they are in and around you, and then you are just thinking about the day they will leave you. What kind of thought is that? But then, thoughts of insecurity are so rampant these days. So, everybody is suffering from thoughts of fear, thoughts of insecurity, worry. So, all of this is because of the discharge of the soul. And Baba says that so you must understand when Baba says, when Baba says the soul is discharged, then I must understand what are the signs of the discharge of the soul. So these thoughts that are wasteful, negative, incoherent, sometimes you have thoughts which are very incoherent to reality. Yes, so they are, everything is good and nice, and then you have these thoughts that things are not going to be okay. So that incoherence is because of your discharged battery. And I remember there was this one Mata, and she told me that I can always sense what wrong is going to happen to my family next. And then when I sense that, then after some days that thing happens. So I told her that you are not sensing what wrong is going to happen. You are bringing that about. Because you are creating that thought of fear, and then you are telling everybody in the family, and everybody is collectively thinking like that, and then you're making it happen. But you are not understanding that all prophecies that we make for ourselves and our loved ones are going to come true. So this is how it is working. But she refused to accept that she is not thinking these thoughts because of something that's wrong with her, but she's thinking these thoughts out of intuition or premonition. She always maintained that. But then I asked her, do you ever get a glimpse of something that's going to happen right? So she said no. So she never has an indication of something good that's going to happen. She always has an indication of something bad that's going to happen. And then you think it's premonition, but if it's premonition, it should work both ways. So it's just, a discharged battery. But instead of trying to charge it, you are making that discharge normal, and you're also radiating that discharge to everybody. So you're also, giving your company to everybody, sharing your thoughts with everybody. and making them also have those weak thoughts that are stemming from your discharged battery. So Baba says that this is how discharged battery looks like, the intellect. You see, if your intellect is drawn towards everything that is vicious, everything that's not good for you, everything that's going to create sin. So, people say that I have likes and dislikes, and then all your likes are about that part of the world which is vicious. So, you like to eat what's impure, you like to engage in impure conversations, you like to, engage in impure activity. So, all these are signs of a discharged soul. So, if your intellect is not drawn towards study, so have you seen that it becomes very difficult to remember a 3-page Murli, but it's very easy to remember a 3-hour movie. So, because, and all that is shown in the movie, very high intensity negative emotions, you absorb all of that very easily. But when it comes to Gyan, it becomes very difficult to remember today's Murli. So that is the sign of a discharged soul. What your intellect imbibes, what your intellect sees, where your intellect is pulled, all of that are signs of the quality of your intellect. And as is the soul, so is the intellect. So this is also, and then the choices you make, the decisions you make. So if you're always choosing that which is, if you're choosing to use your body, mind, wealth or your time, energy, thought to create negative actions, then that is the sign of a discharged intellect. Let's say, in this world, there are people who have very good brains but very discharged intellects. So even if the apparatus is very good, the way you're using it is all wrong. Have you seen that people who are manufacturing bombs and weapons of mass destruction, they are all highly intelligent people? Yes, so the apparatus is very good, but the battery is discharged. So the brain is very good. The brain is very full of gray matter, full of, capacity to analyze, to, do all sorts of things through the brain. But then the one using the brain is discharged. So it's all being used for the wrong purpose. Even, physical energy. The soul has the body and the body has physical energy. But you are the one deciding where to use that energy. Yes, and these days you see, where is all the energy going? All into vices. It's not going into anything constructive. So if you ask somebody, I remember there was this one brother, and he was doing a lot of, he would spend many hours in the gym every day. And then what he would do is only be interested in fights and violence and not do anything productive with that energy. So he was working for some group who used to send them for fights, whenever they wanted to create a scene somewhere or create violence somewhere, he would be hired. And then he thought that was a good use of his energy. So this is how, you are using everything that you have to make yourself worse, not better. And that is the sign of a discharged soul. And when the soul is discharged, the intellect makes these choices. And then sanskars, you see, Baba tells us that the soul has a whole part recorded in it. So, we right now we are sitting in Sangam Yuga, but I, the soul, have the part of Satyug, Treta Yuga, Dwapar Yuga, Kali Yuga, everything recorded in me. I am this complete CD sitting in Sangam Yuga. So, I have this whole part recorded in me. But which part in me will be emerged depends on the battery of the soul. So if the battery is discharged, then the Kalyugi part emerges. Have you seen that even in one day, sometimes, when you are in good state, when you have had good yoga with Baba, then your battery is charged, and then you're behaving like a good Brahmin, a good BK. And then what happens is, after some time, your battery gets discharged, because discharge is happening continuously. If you're not charging, you're discharging. So when you are not paying attention to churning knowledge or remembering Baba, then the battery gets discharged. And when it is discharged, then what happens? All your Kalyugi sanskars are emerging. And you might not have, been rude for a long while now, but then suddenly you start becoming rude. And then you think, what's wrong with me? I'm a BK, why am I behaving like this? I'm Baba's child. But the thing is, if you're Baba's child, you have to be in Baba's remembrance. Otherwise, the sanskars corresponding to the charge in you will get emerged. So if the battery of the soul is discharged, then the sanskars corresponding to that discharged battery will emerge. So these are the signs of a discharged battery. Now, Baba tells us that how do we discharge? So anything, when you keep operating with it and not charge it, it gets discharged. So discharge is continuous. Ever since we come to the stage, from Satyug onwards, every day we are getting more and more discharged, because the battery is being used. The soul is doing everything through the body, and we didn't know Baba, so we couldn't charge ourselves. So this is how, we are continuously discharging. And what is the method to charge the battery? Remember Baba. Yes, remember Baba. So whenever you remember Baba, whenever you are in remembrance, then you are downloading the charge from Baba. So just like, you have to plug in your instrument, whatever instrument you have, the phone or anything that you use, the earphone or the phone these days, you plug in and then you leave it and it slowly gets charged. Similarly, you plug in your mind and intellect to Baba, and then you keep drawing the qualities of peace, love, purity, and that's how you are charged. So Baba says this is the method to recharge the soul. And you see, I was talking about the benefits of science, and you see, earlier if I told you that Baba is there in the soul world and you are here, and then you turn your mind and intellect, and then you can draw the power and the virtues from Baba, then you would say, how is that possible? Yes, but these days, you see, there's the Bluetooth, and you connect the Bluetooth, and then as soon as it is connected, you can download information from one to the other. And you don't need anything physical. Or, you use a phone and you talk to somebody and you don't need a wire to connect you two. Similarly, Baba says that you, the soul, when you tune into the frequency that I am a soul and I am Baba's child and my Baba is in the soul world sending love and light to me, then the Bluetooth is connected, and then you start downloading that love and light into yourself. And when you are in that, when you are charging yourself, then your mind, intellect, and sanskars work better. Have you noticed that? When you are having good yoga with Baba, regular yoga with Baba, continuous yoga with Baba, then you don't get these thoughts of worry, being upset, fear, anything. I'll tell you one example. So, earlier I used to be very afraid of animals, and I had this fear of animals, and especially dogs. I didn't go close to dogs. And then I was not even thinking about this. I was not even thinking that I'm afraid of animals. But then I was just doing what Baba says. I was remembering Baba. And suddenly I started noticing that I'm very comfortable around animals now. I'm not afraid anymore. And this was not even something that I consciously practiced or I paid attention to also. But when you start recharging, then that recharge automatically frees you from negative thoughts, negative feelings, feelings of sorrow, worry, fear, especially, they just go away. And even, these thoughts of vices, these thoughts of, ill wishes, they start giving away. So this is the sign that you are recharging. And your intellect becomes free from wandering. You are able to make good choices. You are able to make good choices regarding your body, actions, your time, your thoughts, your energy. You start using it on Baba's Srimad. And then whatever sanskars you want to emerge, they start emerging. So when the soul is in good charge, you order that I want to be cheerful all day today. That's a Satyugi sanskar, and it will emerge. All day you will be able to stay cheerful or, patient or very sweet and kind and have good wishes and good feelings, give blessings. So you will be able to do all of that. You want your Sangam Yugi sanskars to emerge, you will be able to do that. Baba says that you're my children, you have my sanskars. But how do you emerge that? You cannot emerge them when the soul is discharged. You have to charge the soul. You have to be in remembrance. And the most important thing to note is, as soon as you stop paying attention to remembrance, discharge starts happening. So, as soon as in this age of Sangam Yuga, you have to be constantly in awareness, constantly in attention. When you're not paying attention, this is an age of attention. You cannot afford to be careless. You cannot afford to be, inattentive. So when you stop paying attention, whether you are remembering Baba or not, then the discharge starts happening. And then you start seeing again these signs, the signs that I told you earlier. So this is about the charge and discharge of the soul. And then today Baba says something which caught my attention. Baba says, you don't attach your heart to those who are going to die. Yes. So just ask yourself, do you not attach your heart to those who are going to die? So, it's not a good idea to attach your heart to those who are going to die. Because when people who are very close to you, the ones you call your loved ones, it's time for them to leave the body. Then it's your duty to detach your heart from them. and inspire them to attach their heart to Baba. Yes, you have to let go of, that act of pulling them towards yourself. If you keep crying and wailing by this, sitting by this side and keep telling them, I'm going to miss you, I can't live without you, you are making it more difficult for them. They have to leave, don't they? So if you pull them hard enough, they're not going to stay, will they? No, when you have discerned that it's time for somebody to go, especially, when people are very old and they are on the deathbed, and you have already understood that they are going to leave, then you have to detach your heart from them. And then you have to inspire them. You have to be in Baba's remembrance and inspire them to be in Baba's remembrance, so that when they leave the body, they are in Baba's remembrance and they will be planted somewhere else very easily. So that is sensibility. But then I see that many people, because the world is full of agyanis. People are only motivated by their lust, anger, ego, attachment, greed. So they don't understand what's the right thing to do. And what people do is, when the time comes for somebody to leave, they start wailing and weeping and crying and telling them, we'll miss you and you don't leave us. And you are making it very miserable for yourself and them. And Baba gives us this very beautiful, but you can't teach that to Agyani souls. But at least, we can learn this and we can do it for ourselves. So you do not attach your hearts to some people, to those who are going to die. This is a very big learning that Baba gives. So Baba tells this many times in the Murli, but I don't know why. Today it made a lot of sense to me, and I really thought about this point, because Baba's Murli has so many points and there are so many which you hear so many times and you never think about them. And then Baba says that the analogy for the soul is that at this time, this whole world is in its, in its stage of death. So everyone and everything is on deathbed right now. And you do not attach your heart to those who are going to die. So remove your attachment from everyone and everything. And just sit in this awareness that even this body, that you're sitting in, don't attach your heart with this body, because this body is also going to leave. So live in this world in a very detached manner. And what is the sign of a heart being attached? So when your heart is attached to something, then you miss it when it's not there, and you do more than necessary when it's there. So if you are doing more than the needful when someone or something is there, and when you miss it when it's not there, then it's attachment. When you're doing exactly what's required and you never miss it when it's gone, then it's it's taking care. So Baba doesn't say you don't take care of something, but Baba says don't attach your heart to something or someone. And Baba says that now you have to attach your heart only with the one you're going to go away with, and that is Baba. So this is also another thing. And the third thing that Baba says today is, there are many children who say that when everything is happening according to drama, then I will make effort when drama makes me make effort. Okay, so Baba says, So open your eyes and see that drama is making you make effort. Because you are not doing it out of drama. It is in the drama that Baba comes, and in the drama that you come to Baba. So the coming of Baba and you coming to Baba are both decided by the drama. If you had come to Baba, you could have come earlier. Why didn't you come earlier? So the drama brings Baba here, and the drama brings you to Baba. And the drama makes you listen to what you need to do. And you only get this knowledge when it's time for you to get it. So Baba says, respect your drama and do what the drama is asking you to do. Because it is in the drama for you to make the effort right now. And when all the signs of the drama are there, the drama is making you make effort, you are receiving knowledge, you are receiving directions, but still you don't do, then you are not honoring the drama. So Baba says, even if you say that I will make effort when drama makes me make effort, then yes, you open your eyes and see that drama is making you make effort. Okay, Om Shanti.